gentlemen, welcome into another episode of From the Pink Seats podcast. I'm Jacob Lane, joined alongside Vince Lococo, and we are getting ready for a big weekend of football here in the Ville as Louisville at 3-0 goes into ACC play for the first time against a very formidable opponent in Pittsburgh. We're going to break all of that down tonight on the show. We are out at HOTWORX, right?
Yes.
Off of Hurstbourne Lane.
I finally got you out to J-Town.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
like
in
the best
J-Town.
part.
I'm
Yeah.
in J-Town. Vince has never been happier. You see the smile on his face. But we've got a lot of exciting things to tell you about our friends here at HOTWORX. We're going to get into why we're here and what we're doing and why this place is so awesome throughout the show. But make sure right now, let's get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. If you're new to the program, thank you so much for tuning in. We like to believe that we are the premier product of Louisville football in this city. The only podcast covering Louisville football from top to bottom year-round. Be sure to subscribe right here on YouTube at the State of Louisville. All kinds of great podcasts on the State of Louisville Podcast Network, as well as follow us on Twitter at the State of Lou, at Pink Seats Pod, at Jacob Lane 08, at Vincent Lococo. But man, this is about HOTWORX today. We're out here to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. Right out here, as we mentioned, in J-Town, in the heart of Hurstbourne. We're literally about 500 feet from Kroger in Stony Brook, the Shogun, right behind us, Starbucks right here. This is an extremely convenient located gym. And this isn't just a gym. Like, if you're not familiar with what HOTWORX is, it's one of the coolest workout facilities is what I'll even call it. Infrared fitness studio. They are a 24-hour infrared fitness studio where you can come in and get a workout, whether it's 6 in the morning, 6 at night, 2 in the morning, whatever your schedule calls for. They've got an incredible amount of choices of things that you can do here inside of their heated infrared studios. And Vince is going to talk a little bit about his experience because he's been working out here for the last couple of weeks. And the pictures, Vince looks like, you got to work out in. You definitely got to work out in. But the saunas, the studios get, 125 plus degrees in there, do some cycling, do some Pilates, some row machine cycling, all kinds of different workouts.
Hot yoga.
It really is a great place no matter where you are in your fitness journey. And they are running some really great promotions right now to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. If you're interested in joining HOTWORX or learning more about them, they want to hear from you guys. So stop in, tell them that you heard us talking about them on From the Pink Seats podcast. And man, Vince, the deals that they've got in place today, in order to get you signed up, $1 fee. That's all that's owed today, man.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat that. You know what you can't get for $1 anymore?
What's that? Cheeseburger?
Cheeseburger, Coke at McDonald's. The $1 deals are gone, but they are hitting hard here at HOTWORX. So stop in, tell them that you heard us talking about them on From the Pink Seats podcast, and they're going to give you an absolute world-class experience.
Yeah, for sure. The workouts are tough. I will tell you that.
Good.
You can go at your own pace and everything like that. Obviously, with anything that is outside of football world, people like to assume football players are going to come in and be like,
just monsters.
I'm going to kill this. No, this is not that at all. You definitely can. You can go at your own pace, too. That's the best part about it. It's something that me and my fiance Emerson were doing together. So being able to do that, if you can hop in there with Taylor, it's just a cool environment. Make sure you guys give them a follow at HOTWORX Louisville Stony Brook on Instagram. Shoot them a message for sure. Yeah,
and we've got to meet the owners here, and they have been so gracious to us.
Sarah and Bruce are awesome. All right, we are here with Sarah Douglas at HOTWORX on Taylorsville Road. Sarah, how are you doing today? It's 1-year anniversary for you guys out here. So how are you feeling?
I'm great. It's been so much fun. Great year. Exciting to celebrate with everybody.
So what made you get into HOTWORX? What made you decide to open this spot up? And what was your inspiration behind it?
Yeah. So I'm a physical therapist by background, actually. So for me, I love to work out, but I've had lots of issues orthopedically for years and couldn't find something that I was able to do without flaring up an injury. So I ran cross country and did gymnastics and killed my body when I was younger. And then I kind of got through that, and I literally could not work out because everything I would do would flare it up. So as a PT, my brain really fell into HOTWORX. I could work out in the sauna and I could actually feel better while working out, while getting a killer workout.
Now, talk to me about the classes. You mentioned that there's over, 500 classes in around 24 hours?
Yeah.
Talk to me about those. What do you all have to offer, obviously in the sauna? Just what all's going on?
Yep, so there are 544 workouts in a 24-hour time period. So you can literally work out and choose a class at any time throughout the day and night. There are 12 different workouts ranging between your HIIT workouts, your high intensity interval training workouts, as well as your isometric workouts. So workouts can range between 15 minutes and 30 to 45 minutes. So it's super efficient. You're going to get more workout in less time, more bang for your buck. You're going to get your exercise combined with the heat as well as infrared energy. So such a great total body wellness experience as well as your great workout.
Now, you mentioned booking the classes, and this is probably my favorite part about HOTWORX is the user friendliness of this app. Talk to us about the app. Talk to us about just how easy it is to sign up for a class, to send it to your friend. If you want to work out with your friend, how easy is that?
Yeah, it's awesome. You literally tap to open the door. Once you get in the door, you open up your class. You can book it ahead of time. Of course, you can actually book up to 3 days in advance. So you book your session of choice. You can share it with a friend as well, or you can book it on your own. Once you do your session, you can book as many workouts as you want. They are actually unlimited with your membership, so you can come in and just do one 15-minute workout. You can come back later and do one, or you can do back-to-back workouts. But it's really all about efficiency, more workout in less time.
Now, my last question for you. I've done 2 of these workouts. They both were tough. I'm not going to lie. But which, in your opinion, is the hardest one to do for beginners up here?
Oh, for beginners?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. So Hot Thunder, which I believe
Yeah,
you
which
did
was the first class I did.
That you did. Yep. Hot bands is also really hard as well. That's a isometric workout with bands, total body workout. But that Hot Thunder, that's a killer workout. I love it, but it's not easy. And that's what Vince picked for the first workout.
Yeah. Not the best decision. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for having us out here. Celebrate your 1-year anniversary, opening up. We are definitely going to be back out for more content and more stuff. I'm getting ready to hop in a sauna myself and record some content, so be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys on the flip side.
And really, man, they are just trying to be a focal point of this community here and get folks in the J-Town and surrounding areas into working out here, because one of the things they talked about is it's more than just a workout.
Yep.
This is because of the infrared technology that they have, the heated studios. It helps with sleep. It helps with mental health. It helps with clarity.
Boy,
with
I'm
thinking.
sleeping better. That's for damn
That's
sure.
right,
After,
man. That's
because
right.
I am exhausted.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't want it to sound intimidating. It's not.
No.
You start low with temperatures that aren't extremely hot and work your way up.
The cool part about this HOTWORX as well is what you'll notice is a lot of them are very shotgun type style, meaning just straight back, saunas on the sides, everything. Not this one. This one has an amazing layout.
It's a great layout.
It's great. Area where you can do free weights, TRX, things like that, which I enjoy. I got in 30 minutes early before my workout last time and hit some TRX just to loosen everything up, because these old bones are pretty brittle nowadays.
Yeah, especially those knees. They hold
up. Right.
But it's great. We got the tour, and this is a beautiful facility. And we'll talk a little bit more about it throughout the show. We're gonna have some guests join us and tell a little bit more about the HOTWORX experience. They've got a world-class trainer that is in town leading some fitness classes.
Britney Rodriguez.
Yeah, Britney Rodriguez. And she's badass, man. She would whip our asses and get us into shape, man.
Yeah, I have definitely seen some of the videos of her classes, and she would whip my ass. She would whip just about any football player's ass, if I'm being honest.
That's right. She would get into a pass protection and block the shit out of Keith.
Yes, 100%.
Which, by the way, this is breaking news. Keith's the Iron Man of sorts, if you will, on our show. The Eric Wood, the Brett Favre, the never miss a day. I don't see Keith. I think Keith got scared.
It's like Joe Hendry, freaking say his name and he'll appear.
Right. No, but Keith got the day off because he was afraid he was going to be put to work in here, for his punishment.
Yeah.
Which, Keith, if you're watching, man, your punishment's coming. You're going to still get your time, buddy.
I've already talked to HOTWORX. It sounds like we're gearing up for this is going to be the punishment.
A good punishment though, right? Good punishment. Of course. Well, let's dive in and talk a little bit of football. Louisville has Pittsburgh this weekend. You guys broke down the Bowling Green game just a couple of nights ago, and man. The question that I've been asked by a lot of people is, how do you feel going into this game? And I'm going to be honest with you, and I know we're early in the show. I don't want to I don't want to bring the negative Nancy's out. But, Vince, this is a game that I don't want to say I'm worried about, but it's one where I think that we're really going to find out what this team is.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to find out a lot. Just to go ahead and beat you to it, your sack update this week.
There's one, not one, man.
Yep. Yeah. Ironic. Yep. Yeah. So
here's
great
the sack update.
Yeah, great sack update.
Yeah, that was it, man. No sacks against Bowling Green. That was frustrating for me.
But I think that fans, myself included, have every right to be worried about this football game. I mean, Pittsburgh presents a lot of problems for us. If you look at what they do well and what we do not do well, that stuff matches up, and that's not good for us, for sure.
It's not.
There are ways we can win this football game. I think we still have a really good shot at winning the football game, but it's going to be a very, very tough battle on Saturday in Pittsburgh.
It is, and that's never been a great environment for Louisville. Obviously, we know about what happened 2 years ago in Jeff Brom's first year, where really that was the clunker for Louisville football. We've talked about it on this show for years, that the field condition, which it's not something you want to talk about in football, man. Like, I don't care if it's grass, turf. That's for you to worry about because you played.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I don't know, man. I don't want to get tackled on turf. I don't want to get tackled on grass. It doesn't matter. But the field condition is something you have to talk about in Pittsburgh because they have the Steelers. They have the Pitt Panthers. They have the Wednesday night rodeos. They're out there with concerts and kids shows and Blippy. I mean, this is a multi-purpose stadium that doesn't necessarily get the best reputation for field condition. You know about this. Tell me about it.
I mean, it's just not – it's not the best. I mean, you saw it with Renato getting hurt for sure. Whenever I went there in 2020, the main thing I was concerned with was COVID, so I wasn't really worried about the field conditions. I was just happy to be playing a football game during that time period. But for sure, you notice that stuff, and you start to just feel that, man, am I going to have to cut this route a little bit short because I can't break down on my break because the field conditions. And that happens on defense. That happens on offense. So that's just stuff you have to look at.
It's all the way around. Three phases of football have to worry about the same thing. But it's one thing they might bring it up and talk about it. But, of course, Jeff Brom's not going to let that be an excuse for this team. Of course, they're going to continue to push forward and try to grow and evolve their game from what we've seen through 3 weeks. But I do think when you talk about the team of Pittsburgh, when you talk about what the challenges they present, you talk about this being on the road at noon in Pittsburgh, an environment that's not known for a raucous type of vibe. You know, it's kind of sleepy, but in an NFL stadium, sleepy. And so it's just one of those kind of perfect recipes for Louisville to drop a clunker.
This is the beauty of us doing the show outside, Jacob.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's for the listeners. It is a slight drizzle.
We're fighting through the conditions.
Slight drizzle right now, and we got sirens going on.
Sirens, and the party is picking up here at the 1 year anniversary.
Party is picking up.
This is great. That's what we signed up for. But when you talk about going into this game, the field condition, and obviously what we saw a couple years ago is a big topic of conversation. You mentioned Renato Brown having the knee injury, and then for that rest of the game, the guys just didn't move the same as what you had seen weeks prior. It was rainy. It was one of those things. But going into it, that's certainly something you have to consider, especially when you have two running backs that are banged up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about terrible timing for that.
Yeah, did you see did you watch the show from
I did.
Yeah, so you
did you see me commenting nonstop?
Yeah,
I couldn't stop.
I saw you call me out for
No. I want to on the record. I saw you tweet. You texted me that. I did not know. Keith corrected you, and I was already in the comments talking about something else. Yeah.
But you saw the slight foot check that I noted out.
Yeah. Just the gimpiness, kind of awkward.
Not the best time to be getting hurt for sure. And how you get hurt coming off a bye week is that's wild to me.
Yeah, and we don't really get a lot of injury report information ahead of time. We will this week, with the ACC. That will be probably by the time this show is out. We'll probably be close to having that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the injury concerns with Duke and Isaac are very legitimate. Obviously, Duke didn't play against Bowling Green, and Isaac only had the one carry. And we're kind of talking through all the kind of storylines going into this game, but really for me, what this game represents, and we're going to get into the specifics of this, is what is this team? Yeah. I don't know through 3 weeks. The 3 games you should have dominated. You won. You took care of business. You put points up. But I don't think any 3 of those games I walked away like, damn, man, this is a championship team.
Yeah,
in fact, I'm like, I don't know.
I walked away the same thought process, Jacob. We rode together last game, and that's all we could talk about was the fact that one, we don't know what's going on with the team, and two, who the hell are we?
Right.
You know, do we play physical defense and we're going to grind people out with the run game, or are we a quick hitting, you know, let's get the ball out of Miller Moss's hands on out routes, curls, hitches, things like that, because our offensive line can't block and we can't push the ball downfield.
Right.
So it's like, it's very confusing. It's been a while since we've sat here as Louisville fans and said, where are we at, you know, with this football team going into week 4 or 5?
Right. Now, we did this last year, and when I say we, Keith, right?
Yeah,
each one of those games,
I knew what team we had.
we walked away from each of those games, and you and I are like, okay, I feel good about this. And Keith's like, no, this one thing is going to be the whole. Now, you know, in some regards, he was kind of right as the season played along. But going into this game, here's the one thing I know about this team, and this is the one thing I feel confident about. The defense is better than the offense.
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to say that going into the year either.
No.
You know, like there was a lot of questions.
Well, because you're talking about replacing Ashton Gelati, Quincy Riley, some big names that are now making fumble recoveries and sacks on Sundays, right?
Not to mention the rumblings about Ron English in the offseason of people saying, should he stay? Should he go?
Right. Is he built to be the coordinator?
Right.
Do we have corners? Do we have a secondary? I think what we've learned through the first couple of weeks, despite last week not having any sacks, is you got a legitimate pass rush. Mm-hmm. Your interior defensive line is pretty damn good. Your defense can be aggressive. Hutch and Watts, man, like that's like a combination of just elite athleticism and playmaking.
You can tell
we got to bring those
guys. They have been in their playbook, and not just in their playbook, but in the opponent's, you know, film room, watching, studying, like it's their job. And I mean, these kids are getting paid now, Jacob, so they should, quite frankly, be treating it like it's a job in a lot of ways.
That's right. And speaking of getting paid, I know there has been a ton of speculation of what is going on with Isaac and Duke, and we're not here to talk about rumors or talk about speculation of what can going on. But what I can tell you with this team also is that there does seem to be some form of a bit of a culture difference from what we've seen the first 2 years under Jeff. And I think Jeff's comments during his press conference on Monday of nobody making this about them, not having a big head, making it about the team. We saw last week, I don't know if you saw any of the clips of Miller being sacked, no offensive lineman coming to pick him up.
Yeah, I saw
little things like that I'm a little worried about.
I saw one clip of that, but I also saw 2 or 3 others where the offensive line did help him.
Sure.
So I'm like...
Yeah, and if I'm Moose and I get beat, I don't know if I want to go like the first. I don't want to be the first guy there. I'll be the third guy. Sorry, man.
You know, give
like,
a head tap.
Yeah, my bad.
My fault, bro. Yeah.
Ron Jordan, did you see that video of Myles
so
Garrett
bad.
this weekend,
yeah,
man?
That's gonna help. That's gonna help.
That would be me as your left tackle.
We had
Run, Vince. Run.
We had that happen last weekend against Bowling Green. We had the corner blitz that Miller Moss got sacked on. We had a tight end just sitting over here pointing.
Yeah,
pointing does nothing but let me know in the stands that there's a corner blitz.
And that corner, that corner is like, you might be pointing me out, but you don't see me.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Yeah, so this weekend is certainly going to be quite the matchup for Louisville.
All right, we're out here with Britney Rodriguez, one of the personal trainers, group fitness instructors out here at HOTWORX. Britney, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah. So for me, I have to ask, what got you into HOTWORX?
Oh my goodness. Well, I got asked to come out and try out a HOTWORX as they were getting ready to open and to help promote them. And it was a friend opening a studio. So I just went out and gave it a try. And I looked at the TV screens and I said, I want to do that. And she's like, I'm so glad you said that because there is a competition and you'd be perfect for this. I've been in group fitness for 25 years and personal training. And so I went and I applied and I competed and I made it. And every single year we have to recompete to do this. So this is year 3 for me and I absolutely love it. The difference it makes on my body is like undeniable.
So we talked on our show about the mental clarity that comes with working out in this sauna. So can you just speak about how you feel after the sauna workout? I mean, it's completely different than going and doing just a normal weights and normal workouts.
Well, the best way that I can describe it to people is usually if you've ever been a runner and gotten that runner's high or heard of that, it's that release of endorphins, and that's what the infrared energy does for your body. So it's not just the heat, because people say, well, gosh, it's hot outside. Why would I want to go in the sauna? Because the heat is so different. You've got that dry heat in the sauna, but also it's that infrared energy that actually releases hormones. It detoxes your body. So when you leave the sauna, you just feel so good. You feel like you worked out for hours without the exhaustion.
Yep.
Your body just feels really, really good. That's the best way I can describe it. See, it's kind of like when someone says, what does the best mattress in the world and a good night's sleep feel like? It feels amazing.
Yes,
and that's how this feels. You have to try it out for yourself.
All right, last question for you before you get back in there. What is the hardest workout for you to do and then instruct too? Because I mean, I would struggle being out of breath with. I was wheezing at the end of Hot Thunder the other day. So
it happens. That's a great question. When you're in group fitness, you get used to learning how to talk while you're out of breath, and it doesn't mean that we're not tired. We are. There's a lot of breathing from the diaphragm. But to your point, I would say some of the hardest ones to coach in there are the ones that require a lot of balance in your posture, because when you're balancing, you're holding your core, everything in, but then when you turn your head to talk, it's easier to kind of fall out of balance. So I would say the core and warrior, some of those are some of the harder ones to coach because of talking through it and balancing. But they all can just hit you a little bit differently. There's some days that I feel a little more tired, and so the hits can be really tiring. But I would say, as far as coaching, probably warrior and core are a little bit more challenging sometimes to coach.
Yep. Well, Britney, thank you so much for being out here in Louisville. Thank you so much for teaching the classes and joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
As of today, we're sitting at, according to FanDuel, a 4.5 point spread. I've seen it as high as 5.5, 6.5. I've seen it bet down to as low as 3.5, with Louisville being the favorites, of course.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, Louisville, I believe, is, I need to double check, but I believe Louisville is 4.5. Minus 4.5, yeah. And that line opened, I think, in some places as high as 6.5.
Wow.
And was bet down pretty quickly. I could be wrong on that. That could be false information.
I'm sure people know a little bit more about Isaac and Duke than we do. Those people in Vegas being the ones.
Yeah.
So
it's certainly going to be an interesting game. We're going to break all of it down right here the way that we do. We're going to dive into Pittsburgh, Louisville, matchups to watch, people to know, all of those things. Vince, I was going through and reading your article, getting ready to release it on stateoflouisville.com about Pittsburgh. Just high level, man. Give me the guys we need to know on the Pittsburgh side of the ball.
Oh, let me get my trusty handy-dandy players to know sheet on offense and defense. Eli Holstein 100% is the guy to know at quarterback for Pitt.
Yeah.
He maneuvers the pocket very well. I love the way he stands back there. He's got 3 interceptions on the year, and
1 in each game.
Exactly, 1 in each game. So you can expect him to likely throw some interception.
Yeah.
This game, he stares down receivers.
You remember what happened last year?
I do not. I can't
2
remember what happened for
picks,
breakfast.
Clark. Last year, Stanquan dropped back into the Tampa 2.
Right,
2 picks.
Right. Yep.
Right. And then obviously Eli went out of the game, but they did a great job last year of forcing him to throw the ball around the yard, and he's going to throw one of them things.
Yes, he will throw
It's
it
just
up.
kind of his thing, man.
But Desmond Reid, the running back, runs like a truck. That dude, that's a guy. There are certain players where I watch, and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to play football, so I don't have to hit these guys anymore.
Yeah.
Desmond Reid's one of those guys.
Yeah.
He, a lot of times, is the one delivering the contact when it comes to linebackers, safeties. He's going to hit you first before you hit him.
Yeah.
And that's not fun. If we come with any form of arm tackles, I said it on Monday's live show, we're screwed.
Yeah.
This guy will break that. We're going to need 2-3 hats to the football at all times. If we don't have that, it could end up being a bad day. Now, this is a kicker, Jacob. There's a dude on the team named Bryce Yates, freshman, who has only played 2 games and already has 143 receiving yards on 4 receptions and a touchdown. Now, that tells me that Holstein's going to be looking to take the top off with this kid. He is number 2 on the team in receiving yards. I think he's pretty low on catches on the year because he's only played those 2 games. But to be that high on your receiving yards and just 2 games played on 4 receptions.
Yeah, man.
Watch out for that kid. That's going to be one that we're going to have to stop, and that it worries me a little bit with us not knowing who our secondary is.
Yeah, and he is one of 2 or 3 weapons that they have. Raphael Williams, wide receiver. Yep. He's been their leading receiver most of the year. Mm-hmm. He's a dynamic guy. Another name that just breaks my heart to say this out loud, Blue Hicks. The one that got away. Would have loved to have had Blue on this team as an additional playmaker. But he is a guy that Holstein has found comfort in, especially early in the season against some of the lesser opponents. They have weapons. And, Holstein is not afraid to throw the football.
No.
They are going to look to get the run game established and then boom, 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 boom across the field.
Yep. I think a lot of this stuff, if we can get Holstein on the 2nd, 3rd read, I mean, if we're getting on third read and don't have a sack by
that's
then,
right.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if we can get him on that second read, I think that's going to provide for a lot of opportunities for interceptions, a lot of opportunities for sacks, things like that. Now, defensively, this is your prototypical Pat Narduzzi football team. I mean,
that means let me see if I can define what that means.
Yeah.
That means we got a couple nasty defensive tackles,
yeah.
probably one really dynamic edge rusher,
yeah.
some nasty linebackers, and a safety or two that'll come over the middle and smack you.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I have that right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That sounds like Pat Narduzzi ball to me.
I mean, the D-line is something to watch with this defense, man. I encourage everybody to go back and watch a couple of their the condensed games that they had this year. I mean, the pad level that they come off on, every single one across the board looks like they've been watching Aaron Donald film for years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's low, it's fast. Winning the inside hand placement is very difficult on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I really love about them is their relentlessness to get after the quarterback. I mean, it is nonstop. There might be instances where you could see a defensive lineman or offensive lineman stop. They're like, oh, we got the block, and Pitt's dude is just still swiping hands constantly to try and get some form of pressure.
Yeah, man, and you know, we're going to continue to go into the conversation on this defense and what it presents for this offense. But another thing I think we know about Louisville football is that the offensive line is the weak point of this team, and we saw Trevante Sylvester get in late and trying to kind of get back and get in the right place. I thought it was very interesting in the broadcast. I don't know if it was a Freudian slip or if there was some truth to this, but the broadcaster made light that Trevante Sylvester had been sick, trying to work his way back to weight.
Oh.
I had not heard that. That was interesting to me. We obviously know how they kind of carry information here with injuries, and again, that could have been a Freudian slip. I have no idea. But talking about needing to get back to weight, needing to get back to where he was, that's going to be extremely important for Louisville to find some consistency. But if you don't have him, you've got to figure this rotation out
100%.
because Musa on your left side and Mac Pounders on your right side is not working.
That ain't it.
And we've seen already some movement. I can't remember if it's Lance Robinson or Rasheed Miller today is listed as the left tackle.
I didn't see anything.
So we've got some guards moving outside. Yep. You know, they're trying to figure this out. But
Musa's been pretty rough this year.
I mean,
I'm not to single anyone out.
No.
Definitely.
But if you're bringing in a guy like Musa, who is a 4 or 5 year guy, played at Purdue, played for you, he can't be struggling this bad, man.
No.
And the thing is it's not, I mean, it is partially skill, but as you pointed out, man, it's bad footwork and getting beat across the face.
It's not, I mean, once you point it out and start watching it, you'll see it. It's every game, at least once or twice a drive where he's going to get beat across his face, or the effort, quite frankly, just isn't there, and he's, you know, he'll stop driving, and that's how a guy gets off and makes a play where, you know, Duke or Isaac or Kiwan might have it one-on-one in the hole. They get hit. Well, now they're getting hit by a second guy because Musa can't hold on to his guy for a long time.
And it's just making everyone work a little bit harder on the offensive line. You know, obviously you're trying to replace so much and find this combination, but, you know, you're relying on Pete Nygaard to do more. You're relying on Rasheed Miller, who is coming off of injury, to do more. Like, all of these guys are being kind of thrown in there, and so far there's just not a lot to make you feel comfortable that they can protect Miller Moss. And what I think we're starting to learn about Miller is that he might need an elite offensive line to do his thing.
I completely agree. That's where I'm at with Miller, is he definitely needs an elite offensive line to be able to feel comfortable pushing the ball downfield, because throwing, and I don't blame him, quite frankly, I wouldn't like throwing the fucking ball with somebody in my face the whole time.
Me neither.
I mean, that would suck.
Yeah.
Having to constantly worry about getting hit whenever you're just trying to do your job. Now, Miller also has to do a little bit better with his blitz pickup, pre-snap reads, things like that.
Don't stare at your first read for 5 seconds. I mean,
well, see, even Jeff can work with that, though. Jeff can work with staring at your read, because he can scheme that like we did last week with Lacey, Chris Bell, quick outs, curls. Just get the ball in those guys' hands. We can scheme that open. What you can't scheme is bad blitz pickup. Right. That's just on the player not doing their job. And for him, being a fifth-year guy, not being able to see the press corner with the safety over played well off the hash on the boundary on that corner blitz was something, for me, quite frankly, was very frustrating to see. It was very, very frustrating to see.
100%. And I think that, you know, obviously this team, the MO is going to be run the ball, establish the run, play action, get Miller out on the run. He's looked better on the run than he has standing in the pocket. You know, the couple of...
Why don't we do the old Will Stein, get him out of the pocket, roll him out a little bit, let him have some fun with it.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. Now, he you guys talked through it. There's some questions on footwork and mechanics when he does get out of the pocket, and you see that. And I also think it showed with some of the deep balls that hit to Dakari Collins were balls that the Dakari Collins 3-on-1, Dakari had to go up and get that. Now, they called it triple coverage. It wasn't until the ball was delivered was it triple coverage. Right. But, again, the ball was short. Dakari had to come back for it. Yeah. The touchdown, don't even get me started on the route running on that. But the ball was thrown. I mean, it should have been lead Dakari into the end zone, man. Don't lead him to the sideline.
That one was frustrating on multiple parts.
Yeah.
Collins frustrated me more on that more than anything because you have enough awareness on the football field to toe tap right there. You don't have enough awareness to stick a foot in the ground and get vertical.
My comment
for a yard.
My comment on the show the other night was the way he looked back and realized he wasn't in the end zone. It was like a first baseman realizing their foot wasn't on the bag when they tagged a runner.
I've been there. I haven't been there in that situation, but I've been there where I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, the way he ran parallel to the sideline in the end zone, I'm like, nope, he's gonna run out of bounds, and he has no idea where he is on the field.
Nothing worse than looking stupid. He's not stupid. No, looking stupid in front of 40,000 people.
But I will say, I love the emergence of Dakari Collins as a legitimate third weapon. Trayshawn Hurry had a couple of targets. This team, they're getting the weapons there. But
Jaleel Skinner had a couple. I think he had one.
He had
for sure. On
he had the 30-yard play that should have been a touchdown. The ball was underthrown.
Right.
I mean, that was my worst ball of the day.
In his blocking, man, he will be a damn good tight end. But Jeff is not going to continue to play you if you can't block.
Yeah,
that makes you one-dimensional, and one-dimensional doesn't do anything for us.
When you talk about this team and you talk about Zach Crothers and you talk about Kyle Lewis and the linebackers, these guys are going to they're going to see that play where Jaleel pulls to the left and kind of flip-flops on his block that you guys showed.
Yeah.
If we see that, you best believe they see that. Kyle Lewis is going to be rushing to that ball.
That's just nothing but your simple split zone play. They're going to see a hole open up and run right past Skinner, and it's going to be a bad hit too. This isn't Bowling Green. These guys, they want to hurt you whenever they hit.
They do. So talk me through. I mentioned Zach Crothers, the freshman, badass number 5 defensive lineman. Kyle Lewis, he's got an interception on the season, a fumble recovery. This is a playmaker. These are playmakers. So let me ask you this. You're Narduzzi. You're Narduzzi's defensive coordinator. You've watched 3 games now of a questionable offensive line. What are you drawing up?
Oh, I'm going man coverage, one high, and I'm sending. And I'm sending it in various different ways. Twist, loops. The main thing I would do is I would engage these offensive linemen because clearly we saw JMU week where these guys, if they don't see you coming, those coffee house blitzes, they'll turn their head real quick and get back on somebody else. So I would have defensive linemen engage, get connected with our offensive line, and then I'd have somebody come around and just pick it. They'd pick that, and then, there's a lot of different things to find success. It could be rough.
It could. But also, when you're being blitzed like that and you're being forced to pick it up and pre-snap, see it, diagnose it, you know what that means? In my opinion, put the ball where the blitzers are coming.
Yeah.
Get Colin
100%.
Lacey in space.
Yep.
Colin Lacey needs to have 11 to 15 targets every game. He had 11 last week. He had 6 the week before. I think he had more week 1. They've got to prioritize Lacey over Bell, and especially in games like this, because Lacey's somebody. Keep him moving. Give him the Tutu Atwell orbital role where you're just constantly moving him around. Make those blitzers second guess themselves as to what he's doing. And then if they blitz, send him on those curl routes. Send him on those quick slants. Let him step back and take a slant or take a screen,
That's what I said in my article that'll come out here in the next couple of days is, Miller Moss has the opportunity to have a day, in my opinion.
He's got to come in with confidence, no happy feet.
Yeah.
And he's got to say, okay, if they're going to blitz me, I'm going to make them pay, not the other way around.
And he has to get in his head, I'm going to get hit, but I have to complete these balls.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and I don't think this is going to happen, but I think that in a world where Pittsburgh can take advantage of Louisville's offensive line, this could be a game where we see some Deuce Adams.
I don't know. Miller would have to play really bad.
Not necessarily, being pulled. Maybe it does. I don't know. But I think this is a game where we're going to find out if we need a running quarterback. I do. I think you need some form of a guy who can run on this offensive line right now. And maybe that's just some packages.
Yeah.
We've seen them play 2 quarterbacks in the past. I don't necessarily know if we're there yet.
Be happy foot, man. You got to realize you're going to get hit. Tyler did it so well last year, and I know that's a tall ask, asking, a late first, early second, depending on how you want to look at Tyler. Like, that's a damn good ball player, and it's going to take a lot of guts to stand in there and catch the ball. But at some point, you just got to say, F it. This is my job. Look at Chris Bell running that slant last week against Bowling Green, man. I mean, that's how you run a slant. You run it, you know you're going to get hit, but you don't give a shit. You're running that for the team.
That's right. And that's how you're going to stay ahead of the sticks, stay ahead of schedule, stay on schedule at least, and then give Keywan Brown, Braxton Jennings, a heavy dose of them, maybe some Wilder this weekend. And I also wouldn't rule out seeing some wrinkles that we haven't seen yet. The Colin Lacey in the backfield that Keith talked about so much during fall camp. Them bringing him in as a wide receiver and then, motioning him into the backfield. I think we'll also see a lot more empty sets this weekend where they bring either a second tight end in to
spread
block.
That box out.
That's right, and really make Pitt, if Pitt's going to mug the line, really kind of load the box up, make them pay for that. I think if you're Jeff Brom, you've really got to be in your bag this weekend.
He's going to have to scheme a lot of stuff open.
I think he is, and, man, I will tell you, I don't know. I feel like I've sensed a little bit of a different Jeff Brom through 3 games, a little bit angrier, a little bit more frustrated. I saw him pop off on Miller Moss at least twice in the game against Bowling Green. It just seems like a little bit of a more uptight Jeff than we're used to.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know if he's uptight. I can definitely tell the angry.
You can see it.
I can see that. I've seen that face from Coach Petrino, Coach Beatty, Coach Lampley, any coach I've had. I've seen that angry face, and I never want to see that again in my life. But, I mean, man. I doubt it's. I don't think it's affecting his play calling much, though. You know what I mean? I think he realizes what he has at quarterback and what he has at offensive line, and all right, this is how I'm going to have to win football games.
And the injuries aren't helping him. The players not being available. They say the best availability or the best ability is availability, and so far, just don't. Obviously it's 1 week, but we've seen guys not be available, and it's forcing him to have to kind of figure some things out. And maybe this team isn't as deep as we thought. Maybe we're just not there yet. It's still early, but I just don't know. I still haven't been able to kind of wrap my head on where Jeff is. I've noticed the anger on the sidelines, though.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're a little bit more angry and you're uptight, you start to kind of like peel the layers back on that. But that's also a good thing, Don't rest on your laurels. Let's keep pushing and keep pushing this team. All right, before we transition and talk about the Louisville side of things, as a reminder, we're out here at HOTWORX. You see it right here behind us, celebrating their 1-year anniversary. This is an incredible place, man, a 24-hour infrared fitness studio that offers everything from Pilates to high-intensity workouts. They've got free weights in here where you can come in and get a workout in, do some cycling, do some core work. And really, like I said before, the benefit is not just the exercise. It's not just the calorie burns. Like, people think like a sauna-type workout, you're coming in here to burn 2,000-3,000 calories. Like, that's going to happen if you push yourself. But really, the thing that we've been emphasized on is just the mental and the other effects that you get from that infrared sauna.
Yeah, you definitely feel it too. You mental clarity after the workout. Obviously, you're tired because you just busted your tail in a workout. What I love is the fact that there's 500 workouts in 24 hours, Jacob. Any time of the day. I'm a big, maybe I'm a big 12 o'clock. Yeah. 12 o'clock at night guy. I know I go and work out at 8, 9 o'clock a lot of times. Yeah. And a place like HOTWORX is the perfect place for a night bird like myself, or an early bird like my dad, who's a big 6 a.m. I'm going to get in the gym and do my workout. This is the perfect spot to do that.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about HOTWORX is a lot of it is done in the app, right? You can go on. They have over 500 workouts every 24 hours. So that is, every 15 minutes there's different workouts that you can sign up for and come in here and hit. And you can do so in a very solo, isolated way. If you want to come in and work out by yourself, schedule one of the saunas, go in there, knock it out. You want to work out with some friends, bring them along. 3, most of them have 3 spots inside of each of the facilities.
Yep. Extremely user-friendly in terms of if I'm scheduling a class, if I'm doing Pilates in there. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, Jacob would love to do this Pilates class. There's an arrow on my sheet, and I can just send it over to Jacob via text, and Jacob can click it, and boom, we're signed up.
Yeah, and I mentioned the free weights and some of the other things that they have here. It's not just the infrared studios, but one of the things that within the app that's really cool, if you're somebody like me who goes to the gym and doesn't really know what to do, I was never a lifter. I didn't play high school sports.
We know, little guy.
Hey, look at that, man. That thing will pop on there. Watch out for these. I do have a license for those. But they have personal training workouts in the app that you literally can watch them using the machines and equipment you're using and walk you through a workout. It just takes out the guessing, the lack of confidence.
How many times have you sat in a gym and you said, I hope I'm doing this right? Because I don't want to get made fun of.
Why does my back hurt so bad on this? Well, it's probably because you're bent over the wrong way, you know? But with the app and with all the ability to kind of watch in real time, we've got TVs up on the wall to guide you through a lot of that, man. It is really the combination of the perfect kind of solo gym with the community of working out with folks in a really, really cool environment, man. This is really cool. And so they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and for that, they're doing a $1 sign-up promotion. Yep. If you are a listener of this show, if you're hearing this right now, come over here, tell them that you heard us talking about them on the show, and they will continue to honor that deal for you, even past today while we're out here at the anniversary, which is really exciting. So
that means get your butt out here.
That's right.
And sign up.
That's right. That's exactly what that means. We're going to be here working out. You're going to see Vince here quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Here in the next, 45 minutes, Jacob?
Yeah, right.
We are going to hop in the sauna ourselves, or at least myself.
Yeah.
You're in jeans. And,
and a polo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might just take both off and go in there with you, man. You never know. Let's keep this show on the road here. Let's talk a little bit more about Pittsburgh and Louisville on Saturday. We talked about where Louisville is going to take themselves on the road for the first time this season. We know what that can do for a team, good and bad. You know, there's nothing like having the distractions of life eliminated, of being home, family, tickets, right? They're going on the road to Pittsburgh. So maybe that can help them kind of get it together. I
always loved the first road game of the year, too. I feel like I'm just ready to get going, you know, like it's something about going to somebody else's stadium, beating their ass, hopping on a plane with your buddies and flying back.
Yeah.
There's just, you can't beat that. Dude.
I can only imagine. That sounds awesome. I don't know what that's like to fly to a game.
It's great. Flying to the game, flying after a loss is awful. It's just as bad as you can think. But flying after a win is amazing.
You know what was never fun as a premier youth athlete? My ride was always my mom home. And my mom was the type, loved her to death. But my mom, she would celebrate the victories, but your ass better believe I was hearing about all the times I didn't hustle, all the times that I wanted it, I didn't want it more than somebody else.
Yep.
My mom was constantly, so I can't imagine having that amplified by a head coach, you know?
That was my life, too. Whenever I was a kid, I mean, I would definitely, coaches would be like, oh, great job. My dad would get in the car and be like, no.
Damn, blowing smoke up your ass, man.
Yeah.
But this game going on the road is obviously a huge test for Louisville, and will really, again, going into ACC play and setting the tone for what this team will be. I think it's really important. I mean, I think that this team, for the most part, has done well going on the road. You know, I mean, I know they've lost some games, but you beat Clemson last year on the road. You've gone into some of the other environments and won on the road, but for some reason, that Pittsburgh environment is just tough on this team.
You know, you walk into an NFL stadium, you players can get enamored by the fact that, wow, my favorite Ben Roethlisberger was playing right here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, Troy Polamalu hopped over that dude right here. It's like
Aaron Rodgers was doing ayahuasca out here.
Yeah, right here.
Right here.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I remember when we played Miami and we went into Hard Rock. I was like, whoa, like this is insane.
Is that why you had Marlon character all thrown off?
That's a different story for a different day. But, you know, you might get enamored by that stuff, and that can play a factor in it as well. And that's something that you try. I guarantee you Jeff has said that at some point in the week, saying, guys, don't get enamored with the stadium. It is another stadium. Just line up and play ball.
Yeah. So, you know, again, we've hit on the high points, offensive line, Miller Moss. But for you, what does Louisville do to win this game? Like, what is it that they go out there and you say, all right, they cleaned that up, they did that, we're maybe feeling a little bit better where we were in preseason? What do they got to do?
I'm going to need to see definitely a big game from the offensive line. We will not win this game if the offensive line played like they did against James Madison or even against Bowling Green.
Yeah.
And I keep wanting to say Georgetown.
Yeah, right.
For Bowling Green.
Just the green, I guess, or the orange.
The orange, definitely.
Speaking of which, this is kind of off time. My wife and I were watching the Bowling Green game when we got back to the house, leaving the stadium again. I was just rewatching it, and I asked her the question, can you imagine how bad it would suck to play college football and your uniforms are orange and brown?
Ugh.
And your gear is just all brown? You think Eddie George wants to wear brown gear everywhere he goes?
No, he wants that O back on his chest for sure.
I will say, though, it was so cool hearing Eddie George talk about Colin Lacey at the end of the game, man.
Anytime you see like a future Hall of Famer to be talking your player up like that. But for me, success-wise with Louisville this weekend, you need to see better offensive line play than what we've seen in weeks past. cannot get beat across your face. They will end in bad plays for either Miller or Keywan, Duke, Isaac, whoever's back there in the backfield.
Yeah.
Miller's going to have to make really smart decisions pre-snap.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything about post-snap. I think Jeff does a great job of scheming guys open in that instance. Clearly has realized we cannot push the ball downfield as much as he would like this season.
Yeah.
So for him, Miller's just going to have to realize where the blitzes are coming from, where the potential pressure is coming from, make sure him and Pete are in unison of, hey, I'm sliding over here. This is what you got. Okay, back's coming here to get the chip, blah, blah, blah. All that communication stuff has to be on point. Defensively, you need to bring all the heads to the football because this running back will take a 2-yard carry and turn 5-6 if you don't hit him.
Yeah.
If you come in arm tackle, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, so transitioning to the defensive side of the ball, this is where I think really Louisville has the chance to help their offense. And what I mean by that, we talked about Eli's tendency to throw an interception or two a game, fumble the ball.
Yep.
We've seen them kind of turn the ball over. We saw last week D'Angelo Hutchinson and Antonio Watts both make really strong plays to jump in front of balls and get interceptions. I think this weekend you need a very heavy dose of Clev Lubin, but you also need A.J. Green, Micah Carter. You need some Wes Bailey. Somebody else has to step up and get 1 or 2 sacks.
Right.
And then you start to get a little bit of happy feet with him. That's when you can become a little bit more aggressive. You can start sending some more pressure, being a little bit more willing to take chances on the ball. But if Louisville can't get any form of a pass rush, he's going to pick the secondary apart.
For sure, and those guys are going to have to disguise things as well. Press, get your head, maybe if you're in zone, maybe have your head in the spot where you're looking like you're playing man coverage or, maybe be a couple yards off and a certain look. Being able to confuse Eli Holstein, but while his eyes are still up, pre-snap is going to be huge for us. He clearly makes mistakes, man. Clearly. The numbers are there for that.
You're exactly right. And the other thing is that I don't think that we've talked about enough on this show this year is Louisville's penalty issue.
Yeah.
Louisville is this season averaging 70 penalty yards a game.
It felt like we had a lot last game. Do you have that number
Yes, I do
up?
have that number pulled up. If you see here by my handy-dandy stat tracking, Louisville was 6 penalties for 56 yards last week, negated a big play down the field.
Yep.
They had a couple of holding penalties, a couple of, I think Chris Bell had a taunting penalty at some point in that game, shocker. So penalties for this team continue to be an issue. A lot of it is holding. A lot of it has been holding this season, and so I think that you're going to see them this weekend.
Why do you think we're getting holding calls?
Why do I think we're getting holding calls? Because guys are getting beaten. They're being like, "Oh shit, run, Jordan!"
A hold comes from you trying to get your head back across the face and trying to save your ass, so Richard Owen doesn't tear you a new one on Sunday morning.
Yeah, so average. Now, this is really skewed by the 12 penalties for 106 yards against EKU, but 7 penalties per game, almost 8 per game. 12 penalties for 106 yards against Eastern Kentucky. So that's a big deal. Yeah. And then you combine that with the muff punt, with some of the just little things,
weird
man.
Things.
Yeah, the guy was out of bounds. But you have a very little margin of error in this team is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
You just cannot afford to go out there and make mistakes. And what I was getting at with the Louisville defense is they've got to give the offense more possessions. If we just go into this game with the getting the ball back from a score or a punt, Louisville's going to lose this football game.
Yep.
I will tell you that now. If Louisville does not find a way defensively to get a fumble, an interception, return a punt, whatever, keep their defense, or be able to give the ball back or put points up for them, that's the key to this game for me.
Now, what I'm thinking, there is a real opportunity this weekend where we haven't had the rest of the year where we could be playing from behind, a legitimate playing from behind. Are you comfortable with this team and Miller Moss?
No.
That's where my brain goes
because that then takes away your ability to run the football.
Yep.
And
not necessarily.
Well,
I see what you're saying.
If
for
you're
sure.
down 14, let's just say you're down 14 in the third quarter, right?
You're gonna have to throw football.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like your offense can't go if on 1st and 10 you come out and you run the ball or throw the ball, and then 2nd and 10 you throw the ball, and then 3rd and 10 you throw the ball.
Yep.
Like you do have to find a way maybe you get to 3rd and 4 and you decide, let's run a draw right here.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to keep the run game involved, but no, Louisville cannot play behind.
That's where my brain has kind of been spinning since we recorded on Monday night. Is I'm like, wow, and I finished the article and everything. I'm like, wow, like if we're playing from behind, how confident am I in this team from fighting? One, we talk about everybody seeing a difference from Jeff and the team on the sidelines and stuff. That's another thing. Is like, are these guys built to play from behind? Like, do they want it enough to potentially win a game coming from behind?
Yeah, I think I
know guys like Chris Bell do.
Yeah, but in that scenario, what you need is 1-play drives, 2-play drives. You need a 2-play 78-yard drive. You need a 1-play, first play.
And
you
we
run
have
it.
2 guys that we can do that with, and Isaac and Colin, but do we have someone to get the ball to them in their hands?
One of the other things that has been very low-key frustrating for me has been, now again, it's Bowling Green, James Madison, and EKU, but the lack of success stopping the offense on the defensive side on first down. If you go back to the Bowling Green game, every one of their big plays was on first down. Every one of them. It made no sense to me. On the first play of the drive, you give up 12 yards every time.
I feel like that's just because Ron's probably coming out in some form of a base, and they're
just,
gashing him on a blitz.
Shit.
I agree with you, though.
We're
Why
just
not
going to
punch them in the mouth?
Right, exactly. Like, first down gives them the confidence they need to, if you give them 12, 13 yards, okay, we're going to take advantage of this really quickly.
Yeah, right.
Last question here on the defense, and then let's move to predictions. How'd you feel about the communication stuff? To me, it looks like, to my untrained eye, and this is my untrained eye, I've been really impressed with Corey Gordon in the back, getting guys in place. Yeah. D'Angelo Hutchinson as well. Yeah. What did you think about some of the communication issues?
So I think that it's going to sound kind of dumb, but like if we get the call in early, which it's hard to do on defense. I mean, I remember sitting there and I'm sitting with guys like Ryan Fleming and the guys I worked with at Louisville. They're like, man, B. Brown, I don't know what I can do to get the play into the defense earlier. C.J. Avery's bitching at me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to signal to him because the D coordinator hadn't said nothing. Yeah. So I definitely get it. But if we can get the play in early enough to where guys can get lined up, adjusted, see who they got. Okay, if 2 goes out here, I'm shifting my eyes to number 3. I'm shifting my eyes to number 1. Things like that. If they can get their pre-snap reads out of the way early, we'll be fine. You just have to over-communicate. And like I've always said, say we're in the wrong call. Say he called a blitz and TJ reads it as cover to Tampa 2. As long as we're all running Tampa 2, we should be fine.
Right.
Because we're all running Tampa 2.
But as long as you don't got 2 guys in cover 2, 3 guys in man, a defensive lineman that are all go.
Then you're screwed, man.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm done with having defensive linemen drop into pass coverage. Last week, the touchdown against Bowling Green, we had a defensive lineman back in pass coverage, and it that made me throw up.
Yeah, I don't mind a defensive end just kind of dropping back and just kind of zone, like just hanging out, but I don't need him going man-on-man coverage or even going past maybe like 3 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Did you see the play?
I don't know if I did see that one.
Oh, my gosh. I can't remember the player that was doing it, but it looked he did a little fake blitz, came back out, and, I mean, you get those guys in that area, it's just like cattle stomping their feet in one spot. Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's move into predictions here. We'll make this the HOTWORX predictions this week. Being out here with our friends at HOTWORX, make sure you check them out on social media. Make sure you visit the website. Come out here to the location in Stony Brook, right off of Hurstbourne. We're literally right across from Kroger, very conveniently located. But predictions. Last week, we didn't do so hot. None of us won.
No.
So we are all sitting at 1-2 on the season, if I have that correctly, because last week Bowling Green covered, or Louisville didn't cover the spread last week. So we go into it 1-2. Louisville this weekend, according to FanDuel, as of the show right before we get started, Louisville is a 4.5-point favorite against Pittsburgh. Let's go ahead. We'll give Keith's pick first since Keith is not here. Keith is going Cards -4.5. That might be the upset of the day that Keith picked that. That's shocking.
Because I'm going to disagree.
I'm going to disagree as well, man.
What a wild world. Is hell freezing over right now?
It might be. I don't know. I'm gonna go first here. I'll let you finish. I am not going to predict whether I think Louisville wins or lose. I'm just going to go off the spread on this one because I can be safe with it. I don't think Louisville covers. I think it's going to be a very close game. If Louisville does win, I think that they will do so late, either by a field goal, maybe last. Whoever has the ball last. Yeah. I think it's going to be one of those games, but I don't think Louisville covers, and I don't know if Louisville wins.
Oh, God, he said it. I think we win. I don't know if we cover, though. I 100% see a word. I'm like 50-50 on this, man, if we're going to win or not, because Pittsburgh presents every issue that we have on offense.
Yeah,
they have an answer for it.
They have an answer for it. So that means you better come with your freaking
exactly.
A+ game.
And now I'm sitting over here relying on Ron English in the defense, which is another spot I don't really feel comfortable sitting.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, it's just it's going to be a tough game, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bloody, ugly street fight between the whistles, as Jeff Brom likes to say.
Well, then we better get an elite pregame speech if that's the case, man. I think we need one of those. We're due for an elite Jeff Brom pregame speech.
Yeah. Still waiting on somebody to get, as hyped as Dwayne Ledford did against NC State in 2019, where he broke his hand punching a whiteboard.
All right, Mark.
I will never forget that. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
He broke his hand, and I remember on the headset, he goes, "Boys, I think I broke my hand." And I look over, and sure enough, he's like,
just trying to make sure it's all there.
He's
Well,
like-
we've had
he's
coaches
like-
go bloody.
he's like,
broken
I can't.
hand.
He's like, I can't look like a bitch out here.
And God love him, man. But you need to come with the energy. You need to come with the ferocity to win a game like this. So we'll see where Louisville goes. It's going to be interesting this weekend.
What's
hopefully.
the weather looking like Saturday?
I have not looked at the weather on that.
Because that's another big factor.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely don't feel comfortable if it's raining.
Yeah,
If it's raining on that field and we are being forced to run the ball without Isaac and Duke.
Yeah. Going to make throwing the ball a little bit more difficult. So we will see. But that will do it for us. The interview's in. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe at the State of Lou on YouTube. Be sure to check out the show anywhere you get your podcasts from on the audio platforms. We can't thank our friends enough here at HOTWORX for being so hospitable to us. We really, really hope that you guys will check them out and spread the word about some of the great things that they're doing here around this area
Get out
of town.
here, mention our name, and they will continue to honor the $1 sign-up.
That's exactly right. So go ahead and do all of those things. Follow, subscribe, check out HOTWORX, and we will see you post Pittsburgh, hopefully with a little bit of positivity heading into the second week of ACC play.
Yes, sir. Go Cards.
Go Cards.